You're listening to the No Labels, No Limits podcast with best-selling author Sarah Box, where you get the inside scoop on the steps action takers and decision makers take to align their purpose to their principles and achieve their goals in business and life. We focus on the mantra, no labels, no limits, no excuses. And now, without further ado, please welcome your commanding coach with plenty of chutzpah and heart, Sarah Box.
Hey there, it's Sarah, and I want to welcome you personally to this very special edition of the No Labels, No Limits podcast. This is a new series that we just started, and we are so excited to introduce you to Moments with Maria. This series is a shorter version of the podcast. Maria touches upon words of advice and wisdom and encouragement that are shared by the members of our community, for the members of our community, and to all of you beyond. So without further ado, let's welcome Maria.
Hello and welcome. My name is Maria Lees. I am the team writer on Team Sarah Box. And this is another video in our series in which different members of our Sarah Box community are sitting down with me to share just a little bit of wisdom, advice, and encouragement with our community. Today, I have the privilege of chatting with Therese Skelly. Therese is a speaker, podcast host, and the best-selling author of Love-Based Mission, How to Create a Business That Serves Your Soul. Therese, welcome. Thanks for chatting with me.
I'm so glad. Thank you. Great to be here.
Well, we are certainly grateful for your time, Therese. Would you mind sharing just a little bit more about yourself and the work that you do?
Absolutely. I started out as a psychotherapist. I did that for a career for years. And then I moved into business coaching, and I did that for almost 2 decades. And along the way, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, I started realizing that I knew stuff. And I knew stuff that I didn't know from coaching or, like therapy school. And so what I discovered is that I'm actually an intuitive. And so the work I do with people is I use my intuition to zero in on what their next steps are, what's possible for them, where they're stuck, how to unblock them. And then I use my psychology background because that's a huge part of the mindset of the business. And then I use all the strategy, the business, the marketing, the selling, all that stuff. So it's really this really holistic kind of from the inside out way of helping somebody grow a business. It's very fun and I love it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love talking to people that are passionate about what they do. It's just, It kind of comes through and is so contagious.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you do have such a diverse background with so many different things. I'm sure you have so much to share to the people that you work with. All right. Well, I know you came here today with some thoughts and wisdom you wanted to share specifically about how we can all grow into the next level version of ourselves.
Yes.
With that, I would love to hear what you have to share.
Perfect. I spent a lifetime trying to heal myself, trying to overcome and break free and all the things, right? And at a certain point, it's great. There's a lot of healing, but the question is, what wants to be revealed? And so I feel like when you've had trauma or when things have been hard, and the truth is we've lived in a hard couple of last years, right? We've had our heads down. It's been difficult. And it's easy to get stuck in survival or I just got to do this. And I just want to make the invitation of what would that next level version of you look like? And it's usually, here's what I know, Maria, it's not from what you've done in the past. You use all the things. Well, I did that to create the success I have today. It's almost like this scary, gooey journey that you have to have almost like a new operating system, right? They say what got you here is not going to get you there. Mm-hmm. And so what I want to share with people is that there's a version of you that's already existing. So let's say you're making $100,000 and you want to make $250,000, or let's say you're kind of unhappy in your life and you know that love is possible. Maybe you're not feeling great in your body, but help is possible. Right? The fact that you know it means that it exists in some other dimension. You wouldn't have the desire if it wasn't meant to be for you. And so one of the exercises I do with my clients is I just literally put them through a visualization and I say, okay, imagine 3 years out, that version of you, the fully cooked, magnificent, it has all the things, right? The smoking hot, healthy body, the sexy partner, all of the money, the contribution, put that version, literally see that version of you in the future 3 years. Just see it and just have a connection that is possible. And then I have them literally take their superhero arms, like the stretch arms, grab that version and just kind of like fold it into the them that is today. And what happens is it literally it changes you, because now what used to be out there is like, oh, it's in here. And so then the question is, how does that version of me that's now here, present, how does that version of me make decisions? How does that version of me talk to myself? What does that version of me know to be true? Because again, it's like a new operating system, right? And so what I'm getting people to do is like be in the state of that future self. Because the state of this self is like, oh, it's been hard, COVID sucked, whatever. And that literally gets locked into your physiology. So if you want to change, you have to like live as if it's already here. So put yourself like right now, Maria, how would you feel if that 3-year version of you, like, you might sit differently. You might walk in the room differently. You might have different ways of addressing people or addressing yourself. You could practice that today. So you begin to like create that next level expansion, and you don't have to wait till stuff happens. I don't have to wait till I make $1 million to feel wealthy, right? Like we have access to all of that. So that's my tip for today.
I love that. Just the power that comes in visualization and kind of actually spending some time chewing on what does that future version of me look like? I know as you were talking, I'm like already got things popping in my head. And I'm like, okay,
it's working.
Some more time fleshing this out.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you had to give a tip to somebody who's like, okay, like I'm ready to start, picturing that 3 years or 5 years version of me. And they do that work. They spend the time reflecting. They've got the image. Now what? Like if you had to give a first baby step.
Right. Here's what I have to tell you. This is the most important thing. Well, not the most, but it's a super important thing. You have to understand that your brain's job is to keep you safe, small, and stuck, right? So if you think about the cave days, there literally were big beasts jumping there were predators that were, and so the brain is wired, you hear fight, flight, right? The brain's wired to like be on watch for, oh God, something's going to happen to me, right? So the brain's job is just to protect you. That's it. The brain's job is not to get you healthy, happy, self-actualized, one with the all. That's not the brain's job. The brain's job is like, oh crap, don't go down that road because you don't know what's going to happen. Don't look for love because you could be hurt again. Don't want for money because really right? Like, so what happens is, and you have to know this, because you're going to go after that 3-year self version out there and you're going to get it. And then suddenly the little voices will kick in. Really? Come on. Like you've never done anything. This is going to be too hard. Like, look at like you spent all that money and it didn't work. And who do you think you are? And what are your parents going to think? Like, la, 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 right? I call them the gremlins, right? And what happens, Maria, is that a lot of people listen to that and go either like, oh, it's a sign from God. No, it's not. It's a sign that your brain is going, that's a scary thing. Or they don't know how. I call it self-mastery. Like if I hear those thoughts in myself, or I start having the feelings of, oh God, I say, isn't that interesting? Whew, okay, there's that part of me that's scared, that part of me that is trying to protect me. Okay, shh, just like a dog, go lay down. Shh, you got it. You're good. Go lay down. And then I go do what I'm going to do. But if you don't understand the mechanism, like you have a vision, a goal, and then you start about it, then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, it's not safe. Shh. So if you don't understand that mechanism, you're kind of a hostage to it. So the goal is to be like, oh, isn't that interesting? Because what I always say is when you have awareness, you have choice. Most people aren't aware. So you get this stop, start. I want it. Oh crap, I stop. Oh, I want it. Oh, that's too hard. I want it. Oh shoot, it didn't work, right? So when you have the awareness of like, okay, when I shoot for a bigger dream, oh Lordy, everything in me is going to be screaming. It is going to be like, ah! And then I just go like, I know I got it. It's okay. It's okay. And I keep moving forward. So to learn how to move forward, grab it, be it in spite of this, eventually that will get softer and smaller when you take charge of it.
Yeah, I love the way that you just explained that. I feel like that's an experience we've all had, but
all of us.
But you just painted it in such simple terms that I'm like, I know that. I've had the gremlins.
Exactly.
They have talked to me
all the time. They do. Yeah. They don't shut up. But if you go, Well, of course, it's just trying to keep me safe. That's all it is, right?
Right.
Like if my dog starts barking right now because somebody's at the door, he's wired to alert, right? That's what dogs do. They're like, right? And we don't run out of the room cowering under the covers. We just go, shh, I got it. And so if you use the barking dog analogy, you're like, when you hear the scary thoughts, when you hear the stop, oh my God, you're going to die. What if you fall on your face? Like you should like, shh, I'll probably survive. It'll be all right. Right. Shh, go lay down. So those are two things. Vision the future, expand to that, and then know how to work when the resistance comes, because it will. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, God bless you. That's awesome. The higher the stakes, the more the resistance. I guarantee you that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Awareness brings choice. That's so powerful. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Therese, for all that you've shared today. You've certainly given me a lot to think about, and I'm sure others as well. Yeah, but before we go, if you had to leave our community with one final message or quick parting words, what would they be?
The world needs you, in whatever form that is. And you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till you have the certification or the degree or the platform. What you have in your heart is enough. What you want to share, who you are, that's all you need. Just show up fully.
Well, I have nothing to add to that. That was awesome.
Mic drop. There we go.
That was great. Well, as always, thanks to those who've carved out a few minutes to sit with us and to watch this video today. We hope that it has blessed you and encouraged you. Stay tuned for more encouraging and uplifting videos coming your way.
You've been listening to the No Labels, No Limits podcast with best-selling author, change agent, and strategic vision coach, Sarah Box. You can grab the show notes and find out how to work with Sarah at sarahbox.com/No Labels, No Limits podcast. We'd love this podcast to reach as many people as possible. So please remember to rate, leave a 5-star review, and share the podcast with someone you think would get value from this conversation. Until next time, keep taking those daily action steps to align your purpose to your principles and achieve your goals in business and life.